Good evening, morning, afternoon, whenever I upload this, my vacuum cleaner chums, how are you today? Now, most of you collectors will probably know that occasionally the planets align and something amazing crops up on a random Facebook selling site. Occasionally you might not see this, and another collector who happens to live close to you, as happened in this instance, will message you and say, "Oh my god, have you seen what's on Chiller Buy and Sell?" This was. No, what was it? Well, it is what I consider to be a very rare vacuum cleaner. One that I know of. There are a few in the UK. It's a very common machine in the US, but in the UK it's very rare. And there are a couple floating about, mainly in, without being rude, the older collectors' collections, and a couple of people that got very lucky. But you generally don't see them about, and if they're on eBay, they go for a lot of money. What am I talking about? Well, I went to collect this machine last night. It's got a bit of a backstory. Shall I show you? Oh, it's a Hoover. It's a Hoover. In the UK, we call it a Hoover Convertible, but in the US and pretty much everywhere else, it is known as a Dial-A-Matic. Yes, I now own a Hoover Dial-A-Matic. £45. So I'm not going to say it was cheap, but I think it was fairly priced. I didn't haggle on the price. Guy said he had a few people asking questions, so I knew that I didn't have any time to lose, and I happened to have the money on me. So I jumped in the car, shot off. It was a mile up the road in a pub, the next village along. The guy bought the pub about 10 weeks ago, and a couple of weeks after that he went up into the loft, and this was the only thing in the loft. So he brought it down, turned it on, and put it in the pub as a bit of an ornament. But it kept getting in the way, so we put it on Facebook, and literally within half an hour of it going up, I had it. I felt a little bit sad as I carried it out the pub where it had probably spent its entire life, but there we go. So, I own a Dial-A-Matic. Isn't it lovely? Needs a little bit of retro biting, I'll be honest, but we won't worry about that now. Has a little bit of a lead. Oh no, it doesn't, it just wasn't clipped up properly. That is not a burn mark as I thought it was. That is something on there that will come off. So if you glance at that in the video, don't worry too much. It's lovely. The paintwork is, as I would call it, patinaed, not needing stripping down and repainting. God no, this is its history. To be fair, a lot of that will buff off, even with just light polish. It's height control here. Look, we've got high, normal and low. The check bag works. The grill is broken, sadly. One of these is cracked. That one's cracked up there as well, so I'm going to glue from behind on that. I've seen these completely smashed out, so I'll be honest, that isn't too bad. I'm not too upset about that. Handle's a little bit wobbly as well. Haven't really looked at that. It was a bit dirty as well, actually. The hose shows you how dirty it was. I gave it a wipe down last night, mainly just so Amy wouldn't make me put it in the shed, because this is never going near the shed of doom. One thing falls over in that shed, this is dead. So here is the Dial-A-Matic. I'm going to turn this once and once only, because it is very hard to turn, and if this snaps I'll cry. So there we go, it turns, it works. Done. Touch that now until the refurb. We'll have a look underneath first, and this is a pain to flip over because you can't fold the head down. So here we go. The brushes are immaculate. Utterly immaculate. However, I do believe that the belt has broken, because that's a bit too easy to turn in my eye. There's the height control. Don't know if that, I think that's fine. We'll find out. Here's the ratings plate. Very, very faded, but you can just about read. There's a 1124A from, get the right angle, 1971. Well, there we go, you might just be able to see that. 05, 1971. And that's about it, really. I haven't turned this on yet. We are going to have an experience, because I haven't turned it on. But before we do that, let's look in the bag compartment, because the bag isn't actually fitted because it is torn there And also it doesn't have its clip. It's a shame that's tall. In fact, I might be a bit of a pikey and sellotape that up in a bit, because these are very, very rare to find in the UK. There is a collector that has a couple, and I have asked for one or two, and there's Mr. Scott in the US said he'll send me some over, so I might not tape it up. But here's the inside. The pre-motor filter is quite dirty, but it's not too bad, is it? Utterly filthy, but solid. So I think for now we shall leave the bag out. We'll just turn it on and see how it sounds, because the guy said it ran, but I imagine it's going to run quite badly because it's going to be very dry. I don't know if it's on or off, so here we go. Oh, look at that. Oh. That looks like the remains of some filter medium. This is blowing out everywhere. Fantastic. I wonder how much of that we can pull out without knackering it. Just no, come on, cut me some slack. Probably have noticed the change in tone, and I've noticed that as well, and I do know why. Although that's moved actually. It is quite clogged, and I wasn't expecting it to be this easy. I was thinking I was going to have to faff around, so I think, because that's going to be going into here as soon as that decides to sort itself out, so we need to try and fit any bag to it at all. So I bought a couple of contenders. We have the collector's favourite Dial-A-Matic Hepaflow. I have a... oh, that's not going to fit at all. This is a Dirt Devil D&M bag, and yeah, no chance we can write that off. And also a SIBO, which is actually too small. So, is the Hepaflow going to be good to us, like it fits every other vacuum cleaner? Yeah, look at that, that's possibly good enough. We'll see, I'm going to have to fold it up to get it in. We'll see if that pops off in a minute. Just one, because obviously if this suddenly flies out, I don't want it to go falling into the motor, which needs work. Obviously this is going to get a full refurbishment, but I'd rather not tempt fate. Now this blockage is probably going to be older than me, so right, let's put that up there and see what happens. That's not moving, and it still sounds a bit blocked, so I think we're going to have to look elsewhere. Ooh, whatever this was 100% nylon, made in Britain. That's got to be really old, really old indeed. I'm presuming that's not for this machine, so we need to look elsewhere for the problem. And I've already done a little bit of research. I know that I've got to take the base plate off. So we'll do that now, because we need to get to this end of the hose. So I need a crosshead screwdriver of some width, I think. There we go. And I think all I've got to do is just loosen those. So we'll loosen those and put them out of the way. And then all we do is that. And it's off. How cool is that? How does this brush roll come out? Well, there's the belt anyway. Don't know if it ever was a genuine Hoover belt. But there's that. Now, how do you get the brush roll out? This brush roll looks stunningly like the one from the Concept 1 as well. But it probably isn't. How do you get... Oh... I see... You do that. And out it pops. Well, that's rotating fine, so that won't be the... Ooh, important! When installing belts, centre it. Yes, well, we all know how to do that, don't we? And there's the rest of the blockage. Now, how does this come out? I'm sure I saw a thread on Vacuum Land where it said you untwist this top part, which you do. So I'll untwist that, and out this comes. And I've got my long screwdriver here, so we're just going to... There we go. We're just going to scrape until it all comes out, really. Oh, there's some sawdust here. How lovely. Aha! And it's clear. This better flipping work. I'm going to clean all this up now. So we'll pop that back in. And stick that back down. And now we need to find a belt. And I have, tempting fate, got a DC-07 belt, which looks identical, so we'll fit... Doesn't quite look long enough to me, even with belt stretch. Yeah, I don't think that's going to be long enough. So again, I came prepared, and I got my belt box out of the shed. So we'll see what's in here. It might be long enough. Ah, these look longer. What's these for? Dirt Devil Eclipse. They look a bit longer, don't they? Let's have a look at them. Oh, they're much longer. Ah, that'll do. I only have to put a little bit of stretch on there. So that works. So we'll pop this on. Centre the belt. Then put these funny little clips back down. And that should be good to go. The base plate looks in remarkable condition, so that can just go straight on once we'll defluff it a little bit. There we go. There you go. Stupid phone. We'll pop these little clips back down. Lovely. I'll screw this part on, which you can't see, and plug it in. Marvellous. And then I may as well, I'll break it up a little bit. Hope to God that it cleans all this up, otherwise we have to go get another vacuum out. Oh, there's some screws and all sorts in this. Right, well, I'll take the label out because that was obviously the cause of the issue to start with. I'll just put all this junk in the box. I've got all these high quality spares in the box, and because we've had it on we can check, and yet the HEPA float is still in place. So that is excellent. SIBO bag can go, that can go. So that, for reference, fits this, I think. See how much it slips. I don't know how tight it should be. Can't imagine very. Right, cable out the way. That sounds better. Fantastic. So that is what I would call very good. In fact, I must say it grew slightly better than the Concept 1. So, one other thing I'm going to do is have a look at the handle, because that's very, very loose. So we shall find a nice flat blade screwdriver somewhere. Come on. Ah, there it is. And we'll just see how this is put together. I'm a little bit intrigued. Right, let me lay it down so I can show you and it not fall off. The sound of that. There we go. Ah, so that bit slides off. I see. Then that bit comes off. And that bit pulls out, and there's a plug there. And this bit is just very loose, but I don't know how that bit comes out. So I won't force it too much. But, to be honest, for now, I'm just going to put it all back together and try and tighten the screw up a bit more. Maybe that's what it needs. So that slots on there. No, silly phone. There we go. That slots on there. Then I've got to twist that a little bit with the screw. Now there's the screw. Tighten the screw firmly, alright, because obviously this might not have been touched since it came out of the box. Oh, there we go. So maybe that cover actually goes on afterwards, so we'll tighten this up as hard as I dare. No, it's still wobbly. And it's the whole thing that's wobbly, not the... Oh, there's a nut under there. I bet I know why. I won't do it now. I reckon that the other end of that nut is a bolt. And that's what's knackered it. So I can confirm that the pneumatic HEPA flow does fit a Hoover Concept 1. Does fit a Hoover Dial-A-Matic. So that's a thing. Yeah, I wonder what the... Oh, I'll turn it off now. I was going to say, I wonder what the suction's like. Yeah, well, that turns a bit better now as well. That must have flushed some dirt out. Let's test the suction. Fantastic. So there we go, folks, the first look and quick fix of my Hoover Dial-A-Matic / Hoover Convertible. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.